positions. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Paul Dada. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Let's begin with preparation for the May 29 inauguration of the administration of the President-elect Bola Tinubu and Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima as the Presidential Inauguration Council intensified preparation for the day. It has sent letters to world leaders in line with Executive Order number 14 of 2023 signed by President Muhammadu Buhari on the 7th of February for facilitation and management of the transition. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, who heads the council, said preparation for the event has reached an advanced stage as international and foreign leaders have been invited through their embassies in Nigeria. Jide, it's like 18 days to May 29th, and we're preparing to host the world, and a lot of countries with world leaders expected to grace the occasion, and despite the and significantly, this is not just is a change of baton from one administration to another. So we expect a lot of world leaders and friends of Nigeria as a country to be around.
Yes, it is the biggest, most symbolic, and most important event in our country every 4 years. And you want to do your best to invite your friends to be part of this historic occasion. Nigerian presidents have always invited, have always attended similar events, so they would expect to see their own friends, countries that are chummy with Nigeria, even countries that are not so chummy, because of the place that Nigeria occupies, not just on the African continent, but in the global space. You want to bet that the inauguration of a new Nigerian president will trend globally and will generally attract the attention of the world, with world leaders being physically present. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has a good number of friends among world leaders. Not many people know that the FIFA president is Asiwaju Bola Tinubu's very good friend. You know?
Infantino.
Yes, someone that he sometimes spends time with, just to go and play with him. You know? And there are world leaders too that Asiwaju not only made contributions to their emergence,
especially in Africa. Yes.
Asiwaju is in many ways similar to the late Abiola. No, the late Abiola had friends among African leaders. He even installed some African presidents, and I can say that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has also been privileged to
install,
help. I don't want to use the install now because they will take it out of context. Has also helped some African leaders to emerge, you know, to win their elections, whether it's in Ghana or Guinea, you know. We had a good number of friends among both past and present world leaders. So this event, I'm very sure that we'll see a good number of his friends. People have been saying, oh, this election was rubbished by the way INEC conducted itself, and that globally it's been seen as a non-event. We will know in the fullness of time
that day
whether the election was a farce, as some people want us to believe. We have seen world leaders who have congratulated Nigeria and have shown a desire to even work with the Nigerian government. You remember when even the president of Ukraine, expressed his joy at Ashwaju's emergence as president of Nigeria. Some people, and even extended an invitation. They turned it into one big joke on social media. But that is what it is. The transition panel is preparing day and night to make the inauguration of Ashwajubola Ahmed Tinubu a success, and frankly, I expect to see a lot of world leaders. Our country, every time it seems that our country is on the brink, when you feel that, oh, people will abandon Nigeria, you just see that such doomsday prophecy will not come to pass. We've been through terrible times, and our friends have always stuck with us. That is a fact. Even during the military rule, when people were not happy about the kind of dictatorship that was going on in our country, friends of Nigeria stuck with us. So that is what will happen on May 29. Ashwajubola Ahmed Tinubu will be inaugurated as the president, and Nigerians look up to him being successful in office, because we are already going through a lot. If he fails, we are in trouble as a country. This is a fact.
Paul, now a lot of members of the opposition parties, they are afraid, this inauguration day, President Muhammadu Buhari will cease to become the commander-in-chief and the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the baton will be passed to Bola Tinubu and will become the commander-in-chief. So, giving him the legitimacy, the power, every power that will be needing as the president of Nigeria. Opposition parties are thinking that this gesture might tamper with the ongoing court process. That's why they are uncomfortable. Meanwhile, it has always been the norm like that. But I don't know why this particular one is different.
Sometimes I don't understand how people think. One of the opposition candidates, Peter Obi, when he emerged as governor of Anambra State, there was a petition in court against him by Andy Uba. He did not stop his inauguration. So it's always been like that. He did not stop his inauguration. So I don't know why people have to be afraid. So think that the inauguration of the president, or president-elect, on May 29th will necessarily impact on the court proceedings. If you have a case, you have a case. If you don't have a case, you don't have a case. We've had incumbents, being removed at the state level. We've had senators being removed by the court just because the petitioners in those cases were able to prove that, yes, these persons were not validly elected. So if you are sure of your case, Yoruba will say, if you are sure of your case, you don't need to fidget. You understand? I don't understand why people will, the term they use in law, say approbate and reprobate. You go to the court. You go to the court because you believe in the judicial system. You cannot believe in the court and still disbelieve in the court at the same time. You cannot have faith in the court and have doubt in the court. It doesn't make any sense. So the truth is, the Constitution does not give allowance for a vacuum. President Buhari must necessarily hand over. We've heard people say he should not hand over, or he should not be present, or the CJN should not swear in the president.
It should stay away.
It should stay away. Okay, if the CJN stays away, who will swear in the president? Even if the CJN is not, let's say the CJN is not even available. I mean, it's genuinely not available.
Someone will do it.
Someone will do it. Even Tinubu has no choice. He has to be sworn in. No, we don't have any choice. So I think what people should be talking about is, let them face their court case. And while the president-elect is there, while he's the president, let us wish for him to succeed. It is in the best interest of everybody, including those who feel that their mandate, which they never had anyway, was stolen. It is in the best interest of all of us for the president to succeed. If the economy is buoyant, it will be buoyant for everybody, whether you supported the president or not. So I don't see any reason why people should have any fear. Go to the court. Those who believe, those who have seen the light that maybe their cases will not fly, have withdrawn their petition. At least 2 political parties have withdrawn their petition.
Yes.
Out of 5. Now you have 3. So if they want to go ahead with their case, they are free to go ahead. But a president must be sworn in on May 29. And that is 18 days from now.
No, it's a matter of...
Because you see, I wanted to direct the same question to you, that will it in any way impact on the ongoing judicial process?
It has never impacted on it. It has never impacted on it. One Christian group criticized Baba Onayekon, and he reminded him of the fact that he was archdiocese when Obasanjo was sworn in, despite court case against him. He was archdiocese when the man who said he had no shoes, Jonathan, was sworn in. He didn't raise a finger. But when Tinubu was sworn in, despite it, even Buhari was sworn in, there were those who contested this election.
Yes.
Baba Onayekon was not recorded to have raised a finger. But it got to Tinubu in line with the character of many of today's clerics. He too is saying, the election was terrible. I'm trying to remember even the way, the man has excellent English in store. So I'm trying to remember how he even described the election, and then said that it makes no sense. How come it's so late in the day that you are realizing that you have even attended inaugurations with cases in court of
litigation, yes.
Every time I remember how, without knowing it, church leaders are heating up the polity.
Yeah.
And making Nigeria so perilous for people to live in. I'm reminded of the fact that increasingly, these people are brushing aside their God-given mandate
Yes.
and spiritualizing politics.
Exactly.
It has to stop. Some of us are extremely embarrassed. Yesterday, one of our friends, a deputy governor, you know him very well, he sent me a message, let's leave these pastors alone. It's not a difficult thing for me to leave them alone. But they've got to respect themselves.
Stay clear.
They've got to respect themselves because they are embarrassing me.
Preach salvation.
I serve God. I serve God the best way that I can. I spend my resources on
things of God.
Things of God. That's a fact. Go to my church and ask. I'm the patron of my church choir. I write songs for the choir consistently since 2006. They are Christians. But those who made it a point of duty to spiritualize politics, they are embarrassing the rest of us. So when we talk about their excesses, because they are human, they don't have 2 heads, they are not bigger than the rest of us.
Touch not my
They just happen to be privileged to stand in front of big congregations. Doesn't make them perfect. They've got to change their ways. And if someone like the popular cleric in Enugu, Adoration, the man from Adoration, can say, look, you desecrated this sacrament by bringing matters political to your pulpit. he was right. I told his line. So even fellow pastor realizes that some of his colleagues really overreached themselves. They punched above their weight category. They did what was wrong. And today, when people are apprehensive about this May 29, pastors are big contributors to that apprehension, because they were the ones telling us all kinds of things will happen on May 29 or before May 29 or after May 29.
Or during the event.
Come on. I've never seen a thing like this in my life.
It's very shameful.
I mean, what is the gain? What really is the gain? Face your calling.
That's not biblical Christianity. The Bible says that all civil powers are ordained by God, that we are supposed to obey civil authority. In fact, the Bible says that civil authorities are ministers of God. Now, it was written in Romans at the time that the Roman Empire was ruling. At that time, there was no democracy. The worst rulers were ruling. And yet, Paul the Apostle, an Israelite, wrote that. Now, constituted authorities must be obeyed and respected. As far as I told some people, I said, look, even President Buhari, you may not like his policies. You understand? You may not like him as a person. But he is ordained by God, is recognized by God. And when Tinubu becomes president, it's the same thing.
Yes.
Until he leaves. However he lives. So the truth of the matter is that these things they do, they are not representing Christianity. Yet we have some popular pastors who are very moderate, who are very modest. Pastor Adeboye of RCCG, you will not hear him, he's not partisan.
No, you will not
hear Pastor Kumuyi say reckless things. Because they know that they superintend over mega denominations with people of different political leanings.
PDP, everybody.
So how would, for example, Adeboye come now and start saying things, the kind of things Ibiyome in Port Harcourt would say?
Or Enenche.
Or Enenche. But these people, they are just
I don't understand.
Recklessly and all of
on the 2019, first Sunday, I worshipped at Enenche's church. I brought my family all the way from Lagos to
Abuja, Dunamis.
Yes. I wanted them to see the church, and we worshipped there, my wife and all my kids. Because here was a man after my heart. But you stand before a church, and you are talking about your useless party. No, Enenche, you went too far. You went too far. When Daddy Freeze went too far, you told him. In skating language, you told him. And I'm saying you went too far. I may be too small to tell you, but I know that you went too far. Whether you admit it or not, you went too far. There should be limits to this.
Exactly.
People that we look forward to, we look up to. We expect dignified conduct from them at all times, not to do things that put us to shame as Christians.
All right. For a just society to be enthroned, no offense must be allowed to go unpunished. The Lagos State government has arraigned the Eze Ndigbo of Ajao Estate, Frederick Wajago, for alleged terrorism. He was arraigned before the state's high court, sitting in Tafa Balewa Square, on 9 counts bordering on attempt to perpetrate act of terrorism, participation in terrorism, meeting to support a proscribed entity, attempt to finance an act of terrorism, and preparation to commit an act of terrorism. He pleaded not guilty when he was brought before Justice Yetunde Adesanya. The judge adjourned the case till July 4th for the commencement of trial. Today, we're still talking about leaders that would not learn to exercise restraint. This is a man that just came on TV and was running his mouth. He felt he was catching cruise. He felt he was talking, and he said he was going to bring IPOB members down to Lagos to oversee the affairs and provide security to traders and protect their interests. So he felt it was a joke. So the normal, you go on,
so
you waste your cheap data, go on internet. So he has talked himself into trouble. Maybe he's in Kirikiri now. He has been in Kirikiri. He has been in police detention since, and till July he's going to be there, at least as far as I know.
It's a lesson, Ayo. It's a lesson. Let people realize that no one is above the law. Before now, this kind of matter will be treated as...
Honestly, DSS, they went after him. He was hiding.
Let's just warn him, you know. They dragged him out of where he was hiding. You go and commit a crime and then hide under a bed.
You feel you are in your house, you can just make any video. You want to cause panic.
Look at what people are going through in Imo State. Imo and Anambra. See the way people are being killed. We talk about it.
I'm telling you.
We demand that our government must secure our people. Once you are kidnapped in Imo now, you know that you are gone.
You are gone.
Even if you pay ransom, they will still take your life. That is the level of wickedness.
People cannot still go out on Mondays.
Look at the couple, the military couple.
Honestly,
they slaughtered.
They were wasted.
They even look at the kind of things that they did to them
in such a barbaric way.
Why will a human being go to the point of disemboweling?
I'm telling you,
a human being.
If you are in your right senses.
We do not want anything close to that to happen in Lagos. And I know that a good number of our people from the East who are making their money in Lagos, they are law-abiding.
Yes.
That's what the governor of Ebonyi said. And he said, where you are prospering in a place, you've got to respect the people. And it makes sense to do that. You cannot, yes, some things happened during the election that a lot of us have condemned.
Yes.
People have asked me, they do condemn the suppression of votes 4 times. I did. I'm not a coward.
Nobody can come out to say
try to drag us
certain set of people should not come out and vote.
Who are condemned it.
You can't
ask me for my opinion. I condemned it. I will condemn it 1,000,000 times. I want to see people vote and not be resisted. Leave them. Let them.
Nobody should be suppressed.
Don't beat up anybody. I gave the example of what happened here in Magodo. They didn't have to beat anybody.
No.
And they still won with a hefty margin. If you do your work where you do your what's it called? Mobilization, sufficient mobilization, you are going to win. So we oppose beating up people in the name of election. We oppose suppression of votes on election day. But we do not condone making a broadcast and threatening fire and brimstone, behaving as if you have control over IPOB. IPOB is not
a prescribed organization.
It's not even an itinerant group like that you can send for them like you are inviting Obesere to come and play at a party.
He was just catching crews, I'm sure. He was just.
He didn't know that.
He didn't need yes. To show you that.
Look at all the charges.
Look at it.
You know, it may not be a
participation in terrorism, perpetrate act of terrorism, meeting to support a proscribed entity, attempt to finance an act of terrorism, and preparation to commit an act of
to get to this point.
The police, they'll draft the charges.
No, this was at a time when people were really tensed up. He only came to worsen things, and they've decided to put him in his place. You can be an Eze of TVC, Eze of wherever.
Who made him?
You are not bigger than the law. You don't have immunity.
To be running Buhari,
it is Buhari, Shibaja, the governor. So
that have no immunity and deputy governor. All right, we take this breather. When we come back, we'll talk more.
Honorable Ahmed Idris Wase, CEO and Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives and Member-elect, 10th Assembly cordially invite all members-elect and other stakeholders to the official declaration for speakership and unveiling of 16 years legislative track record and 10th Assembly agenda. Date, Friday 12th May 2023. Venue, Congress Hall, Transcorp Hilton Hotel, Abuja. Time, 4 p.m. prompt. Announcer, Honorable Femi Bamishide Richard, Director General, WASE Speakership Campaign.
New beginnings are always colorful. When we celebrate the start of life's journey, we marry in colors. With our proudly Nigerian Dulux paints, now available in any color. Express your world however you want it. Visit a Dulux Color Center to get any color instantly. Dulux, let's color.
Thank you for staying with us. It's still journalist Hangout. Paul Dada. So I'm sure this is a Digbo. He did not set out. Frederick Wajago. He did not set out for what he did not bargain for what he has gotten. He just felt that he wanted, you know.
Well, he was talking out
To draw attention
out of anger, and you know, they say that
Just a cloud chaser.
there is freedom of speech in the law, but there's also limitation to freedom of speech.
To that,
The law also imposes limit. You can't just open your mouth and say anything you like. Besides, I understand Eze means king. Well, I don't know what king he is, but it's supposed to be a leader of an Igbo community in that particular area. And that should...
There's no official arrangement like that.
Well, whatever it is, as a leader, he should be able to exercise some restraint. You know, we just talked about pastors, you know, who are very influential, and then they talk recklessly. That's the same thing. That the same principle must apply to
traditional rulers.
A man to traditional rulers.
If
Is that your community heads like him? So he spoke recklessly, and we have to be very, very careful. Even as saying that he would bring representatives of an outlawed group, a group that we know has caused mayhem.
That was how he finished
in the
himself.
southeast.
That means he has
He has a link.
And reckless talks have to be checked.
I'm telling you.
Reckless talks have been known to contribute to genocide. It was
all over the world.
It was part of what contributed to the Rwanda genocide some years back. People were making incendiary comments in the public.
During the election, a lot of people, they were just going live and they were just inciting people.
All sorts of things. So,
but you know, when they catch these people, you will now see them behaving like an extremely gentle,
like a lamb,
little boy. You know?
It's
That's the thing. Look at the one who claimed that Anambra billionaire received this thing from Tinubu, this and that.
Yes.
That received patronage from Tinubu. You got hold of him. You had to apologize. When we test our laws, a lot of the people, the cowards who sit on social media to harass people, if we get hold of some of them and charges are filed,
exactly,
they will regret their actions. Because a lot of the things that they do, if the long arm of the law catches up with them, they will know that we have
1 week in Kirikiri.
This thing, we have law against cyber bullying. Just say what you like.
This person was identifying himself with IPOB.
If all he was saying was that, okay, government should ensure that those who perpetrated violence, those who stopped, or who targeted Igbo people and all of that, the government should make sure that they were arrested and all of that. Nobody would. That would be a very sane thing to say.
I think the statement I made that it will bring IPOB.
Yeah.
That is what frightening people that you want to bring IPOB to Lagos. Those who in the east, people can't go to work. Schools don't open on Mondays. They now open on Saturdays. Businessmen are diverting their cargoes, their containers from Onitsha to as far as Akwa Ibom. You are now saying that you want that kind of system to happen in Lagos, in a place where you have made money, you have become somebody.
So much.
You cannot, nobody will allow.
You made yourself as a Digbo of Ajao West.
Let's make it clear that he wasn't speaking on behalf of the Igbo community in Lagos.
Or even the community of Ajao West.
Even Ajao, he was
speaking for himself.
Legitimate businessmen there, people doing their business that they don't even associate with this kind of person.
Definitely. So Igbo people, they are good people. It's not representative of. It's not what is said. Is not representative of the Igbo feeling, Igbo feeling, or Igbo thinking in Lagos. Igbo people are not looking to breach security.
They don't want to bring
in fact, they are even praying.
They want the safety of their life and properties and their businesses. That's all what they want. Legitimate people. So.
It's a lesson, sir.
It's a lesson. Don't run your mouth anyhow. Yes,
you button up your mouth.
Yes. So this will serve as a deterrent to others. If you think you can stand behind your camera and start talking,
say rubbish.
Say, just watch it. They're coming for you.
Watch. They will catch you.
They will coming for you. You think he ran away, but he was located. He was pinpointed and.
I think it was in Ejigbo that they said.
Yes.
Got him.
One hotel in the Ejigbo. Ran away.
You can't run from the long arm of the law. Dimka ran away now. But he was caught somewhere in today's Ebonyi state.
So, Ezindigbo Ajawa State, we wish you the best of luck, Frederick Wajagbo, as you, whatever, the long arm of the law.
As you spend time in prison.
Wish you the best of luck. All right, it appears there is no end in sight regarding the crisis brewing in the All Progressive Congress, APC, over the nomination of presiding officers for the 10th National Assembly. More party chieftains are fuming over the decision. The governor of Ondo State, Rotimi Akeredolu, has condemned the zoning arrangement by the APC and described it as brazenly skewed, unjust, and targeted at some zones and individuals. Governor Akeredolu, who is the chairman of the Southwest Governors Forum, said the purported arrangement means that the Northwest will be favored in 2 presiding officers out of 4, while the North Central won't have any, despite its loyalty to the party. Trust Ekiti. Ekiti does not care whose axe is God. Ekiti is an activist, former NBA president. Governor.
Forever an activist.
Yes, so he had a very close relationship with President Buhari before this time. But at any point in time, he was the one that.
His government.
Yes, so Ekiti is. But Ondo State did very well in the last election, in the presidential election. Yes. They brought in, large chunk of votes.
Percentage, they were the best in the Southwest.
Yes, to bring in. To make sure that they delivered the party, presidential election, the party, yes, to the All Progressive Congress. So he has a locus to speak.
No, he can speak.
And he's saying that, look, this is unfair.
That this revolts against equity, justice, and fairness. You know, some of what we had been saying for more than 2 weeks now, Ekiti re-echoed. I sat down here and I said, look, it makes sense to zone this thing to the North Central. North Central has not produced a Speaker of the House of Reps since 1999. Even in 1979, they didn't produce Speaker. Now, what Ekiti is saying is, look, North Central showed so much loyalty.
That was the only region that Tinubu won.
You now, yes, and the North. He won it, and he won it hands down.
Yes.
4 states in the bag.
North Central.
They won, APC won 4 states there in the presidential election. In the governorship election now, the whole of that North Central, PDP has only 1 state, APC 5. So if you are talking about states with tremendous loyalty to APC right now, and you are you are judging it by the number of states in APC's hands. North Central has 5 now. Plateau is the odd one out. Remember, PDP controlled Benue.
Yes.
But Father Alia, the hurricane.
Hurricane Alia. Through the presidential election, the governorship election.
Alia movement.
Yeah, that's
taken
mesmerized, devastated Governor Tom.
National Assembly election in the state, Governor Tom decided to support
Labour Party.
Obi.
Yep.
And Obi visited that place a number of times. More than the times he visited other states. But it still didn't stop him from losing.
I said earlier.
To Asiwaju. No, people didn't expect that Asiwaju would take Benue.
Honestly.
But thanks to
Hurricane Alia
and the Minister of
George
Akume, soft-spoken man, they took that state.
They took the power back.
Yes, they took that state. Now it's 5 with APC. So if you are talking about loyalty, you cannot wish away North Central. If this thing goes to Northwest now, it means that between 1999 and now, Northwest will have produced speakers of the House of Reps 5 times. And look at North Central, they've never produced it. Ekiti was talking about it. He said it stands logic on its head that one geopolitical zone, Northwest, in this regard will be favored with 2 presiding officers' positions out of 4, while North Central suffers the consequences for its innocence and shrewd loyalty by having none. He's trying to get them to realize that this is not how
the arrangement is skewed
to achieve equity. You can't. It has also never happened. I think it was Dogwa that mentioned it, that in the history of the House, one zone has never produced 2 presiding officers at the same time. Because look at it this way. Presiding officers, Senate President, Deputy Senate President, Speaker, Deputy Speaker. Each of those guys can preside at any point in time. There is a possibility that at a time, the Senate President and the Deputy Speaker may not be around, and you have 2 individuals from the same zone presiding over the affairs of the 2 chambers at the same time. It has never happened, and that is why a good number of these people say, what is going on? And APC is playing with fire because when you look at, you can talk to people who have been in the House for some time. You are familiar with them. In this House of Reps, 228 people are new. Those coming in out of 360. 228 are new members.
Over 60%.
Coming in. So how do you deal with that situation? Those members, a good number of them they occupy the age bracket of 30 to 45, majority of them. These are the rebellious group. You can see that they always find a way to handle all these quarrels in the Senate a lot easier. But the House of Reps is a much more rebellious group, and it's difficult to always get them to see things the way of the party. The record is there. They don't like it when you give them leaders. They want to choose leaders by themselves. And if you want them to go for a person that you have chosen out of merit, no one is saying that Taju may not be far better than others. That is not even our business to find out. But you've got to reach out to them, tell them, oh, Tajuddin Abbas, PhD, is better than others. You have to
get the consensus, get their buy-in.
that's what the Governor Akeredolu is saying, that look, the president-elect must look at this issue, talk to these people, because they are claiming that they were not consulted. They are claiming that there was no engagement.
And from our investigation, I don't think the president-elect is hell-bent in saying that an individual in that House of Rep has not endorsed an individual, and it was just presented to
it's
them.
clear to us
Yes.
the extent to which he went with
Yes,
Fabio.
the Senate President, yes. We
But
know.
we have not seen that level of
Yes, for the
commitment
Speaker.
to the other person. Maybe we do it when he comes back. We know one can say. But for now, we have not seen that level of and it sends that signal to those people that perhaps somebody just went and convinced him. You understand? Because they have not seen. How many times has he met with them, for example, sit with them and say, gentlemen, this is what I want. Leave this person for me. This is why I want this person. I want the Northwest to feel that they really, really belong. This is what that conversation has to happen.
Yes.
It has to happen.
Paul.
Yeah, I'm not even sure Tinubu knows that Tajuddin Abbas so well. Because from his statement, he said it was introduced to him. So he decided reading out his contributions to convince the president-elect. Now, I think the North Central has a big case, it has a big case. Apart from the fact that it has not produced any speaker, it gave a lot of votes to the APC. I think the third highest number of votes, next to the Northwest and the South. The Northwest, of course, gave the number highest of votes, followed by the Southwest and then the North Central. Then, there was no wide consultation. I cannot disagree with Ekiti at all. Ekiti said the other candidates were not consulted. Even progressive governors, there can't be anything wrong.
I don't think the governors were consulted.
Yeah, they were not.
He said they weren't. It is usually easy to know if there is sufficient consultation. If, for example, you consulted those governors, Ekiti will not come out to talk like that.
Exactly. He did even...
If he was at a meeting where it was
yes.
Ekiti will not talk like this.
No. He did say something like that, in that if you read it very well, that there's a hint that they were not consulted, at least as a forum. Maybe a few of the governors were privy to it, but they were not officially consulted. It can't be wrong for you to consult as many stakeholders as possible. So, what is good? You see, the truth of the matter is that APC has not learned from history. You understand? You still remember what happened, how Saraki and what's his name again? Dogara came in. Well, the truth is, there is likely to be a rebellion. There's likely to be a rebellion. An APC man might still become the speaker, but it may not be. It may not be the person.
It may not be who they wanted.
It may not be the person that they want. I think there should be further consultation. I think that the president-elect, when he comes back, should look into it again. I think that there should be wider consultation.
Okay. I have Yakub from Dopamu in Lagos.
Thank you. I give you tips today, Chifayo. Good evening. And then the main screen itself. Good evening, sir. And then the other gentlemen in the studio. You see, this kind of a thing that the party hierarchy, quote and unquote, that we are playing. I'll go and write it down tonight. Today. I see scenario of Dogara playhouse here. Whether Ashwad Bola Ahmed Tinubu like it or not, they're supposed to fund this very particular position, especially as a representative speaker. So, not central. There's no two way about it. No two way about it. But if they keep it go ahead the way they are doing, go and write it down. I believe a lot of candidates coming from that very particular, I think 3 or 4 of them, okay? If they can be able to come together and be able to push one person, especially Ouattara or the other, and then they fought ahead, I can tell you they are going to take that position back from here because it is really belongs to them because they fought it. Look at what Babajide said. Five governors from that, so even Southwest or something that. So why are they doing that? They should fight it for end.
Now Nigerians even they know what is happening as that look, they must consult everybody must be carried along. Seeing visuals of some lawmakers in one room, and when I counted them, look, do you understand? It's not enough. We are talking about 360 members of the House.
Even if they are up to 240, what happened on the day Gbajabiamila was defeated in 2015? Everyone expected a Gbajabiamila victory. Everyone thought it was a done deal.
I lost, I think, 7 votes or 11 votes, narrowly.
Lost, yes.
Narrowly.
But things changed suddenly on the floor.
On the floor, yeah.
Anything can happen on the floor.
Yep.
So this is the thing. Anything can happen on the floor.
I remember the lawmakers.
It's looking likely that these guys, these contestants,
yes, Gaji,
Betara, this Gagdi, you know, that it's likely that they are going to gang up against the party, because Gagdi was warning the party that, look, if you don't take back this list and address the injustice that we are talking about, don't expect us to be loyal to the party on the floor.
Abi?
That's a direct threat to them that, look, if you can treat us this way, then don't expect us to support your choice. You know? So I won't be surprised if at the end of the day, they turn against their party. No one is saying that Tajuddin Abbas does not have merit. I learned that he has introduced many bills, although
that this is his 4th term as the representative.
You can introduce bills. How many of those bills have actually received assent? Because Gagdi has had 6 bills. 6 bills in the Buhari years given assent. Out of just, I think, 22 that the president has given assent. One person accounting for 6. You know, and the 7th
The
one.
House of 360.
And the 7th one. No, even Senate, House of Reps. Senate and House of President Buhari, 22 bills or so, he has given assent to. One person
responsible
for 6 of them.
successful ones.
Yes, and the 7th one is still awaiting assent. So you can actually introduce bills. How many of those bills have received assent? That is what, as a knowledge hunter, I'm interested in. You know? And so you just need to talk to people. And I still believe that for a very successful speaker, and a competent one at that, in Gbajabiamila, the last thing his colleagues will want to see is to see him openly backing one person. I don't know how he thinks. I'm not close to him. I think I only met him at close quarters once. We don't talk. I don't have his phone number. But I think that for a speaker that successful, that respected, once it becomes clear that you are backing an individual, all of these people, they are going to be very, very unhappy with you. You may think, I'm doing it for the country, I'm doing what is best. If once you openly align with one person like that,
the likes of Idris Wase,
yes,
the deputy,
all of them, who at one time or the other have given you their best support and all that, exactly. There's no way they will be happy.
Okay, Ibrahim is calling us from Ayingba. Ayingba is in Kogi State. Yes, Ayingba, Kogi State.
You know.
Tekina local government.
Yeah, let's hear you.
Turn down the volume of your monitor. Ibrahim. Ibrahim, you are live.
Thank you very much for the discussion.
Go ahead, please. Hello, Ibrahim. We can't be waiting for you.
I think people need to learn to perish their self-interest for the common good. We just talked about, we've been praising Gbajabiamila on this program,
yes,
for showing leadership and all of that. But he is actually has been accused of being the one bringing this man forward and pushing him and promoting him and trying to foist him on other people. If that is true, if that is true, then I think he needs to reconsider. You know, he can't leave that position on the note of being
or trying to install a
successor. No, let the system run. Let the system run. I think Gbadadi Amila should rethink his decision or his style.
So at the end of the day, we still have time from now to the 10th of June. So
enough time to redress what has happened.
To reach out to all these party members and even reach out.
Even the national chairman has hinted that they are going to do more consultation.
It was wrong to have written those names.
It's not right.
They would have just zoned it. You can zone it, and people will be allowed.
You can have a preferred person.
Yeah.
You can have
and give the person your support.
Yes, and then reach out to them and tell them this is the person that we want.
And at the end of the day, you might reach a consensus.
Then I think what also worsened this one is the giving the Northwest that delivered only 2 states to giving them 2 principal officers out of 4. In our country, it's the 6 geopolitical zones. 1 zone gets 2 out of 4. That's not where people will not protest. It's not even the matter of, it's Abbas alone. No. Or that the Speaker of the House of Reps, Gbadadi is supporting on basis. The idea of having 1 zone take 2 out of the 4 principal positions, there's no way people will not revolt against that. And that's why Adodogwa was saying, look, it has never happened.
There are people who are saying that, well, in this era, you have a VP from the Southwest, you have the Speaker from the Southwest. But we are talking about just the national legislature.
We are talking about National Assembly principal officers.
Yes.
Presiding officers now.
The Northwest can still have other, can have slots for principal officers, still have chief whip and all of those other positions.
But presiding officers, yes. 2, going to 1 zone is unprecedented. That's never happened. Okay. Whatever the wisdom or the thinking behind it, in our kind of federation, with the way these kind of issues, we get emotional about these kind of issues, there's no way you expect that there are 4 presiding officers positions. And we have 6 geopolitical zones. And 1 geopolitical zone will take 2 out of 4. And you expect that people will keep quiet. There's no way that people will keep quiet. We just have to find a way.
I think they've not started talking about majority leaders for both houses.
Yes, those ones. It's just the presiding officers. Yes, those who can preside, head the chambers.
Maybe they think that they would probably give majority leader to North Central and all of that. But however they want to do it, there should be discussions. There should be discussions.
And let it be equitable.
Yes.
If it's not equitable, we'll still be back complaining.
Let's go on, and they might face what happened in the 8th Assembly.
No, they do watch our interview with Victor Ogene, former editor of Source magazine, who is in the House of Reps. He said, we are just laughing at what is happening, and we are warming up that perhaps this is the best chance for a non-APC to become the Speaker. Because they are watching. Although he was advising the president-elect on what to do, at a point he said, I'm not supposed to even be. Because this, if it happens, it's good for the polity. Maybe what happened last time, whereby the minority will produce deputy. It may happen because this will lead to all kinds of realignment and all that. Because they will want to prove to the leadership that, look, you can't choose our leaders for us. The same way they did to Wike, when Wike insisted that it had to be Honorable Chinda. And they said, no, you can't choose our leaders, or they threatened them with expulsion. They still brought Elumelu as their leader.
In the
House of Reps is a very rebellious.
Paul Dada, thank you for your contribution today. And BKO,
Yeah.
Thank you for always being there.
Thanks.
And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11 and join us this Sunday for Journalist Hangout Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30. 2 hours of Journalist Hangout on Sunday. Don't miss it. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Uzubako. Bye for now.
Been hit. We need backup transportation. Over.
When chaos becomes the order of the day, corruption knows no boundaries.
So you want us to drug Jimmy to get him out of the way?
And oppression gets to have a field day.
Esther, is that your house?
What becomes of the innocent?
The beautiful man camp is under attack, sir. What?
Lahira premieres on the 4th of April at 9 p.m. WAT on Africa Magic Showcase.
Politics is defined as getting what, where, when, and how. But in the mix, many things come to play to shape the political fortune of any country.
Honorable Minister, you misinformed the public.
From the political actors to the electorate, campaign to voting, from debates to policy decisions, big events happen to engage us in constant conversation.
That's what we're looking for. Not some people who are talking about ethnicity. No.
Who is on your mind?
Don't worry.
Join me every day on Politics Tonight, where we dissect issues that shape our political destiny. Politics Tonight, weekdays on TVC News.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
Now that Nigeria's next president has been decided at the poll on February 25, attention is shifted to May 29 Inauguration Day, the commencement of the new 4-year tenure of Nigeria's 16th president since 1960, when the country gained independence. It's going to be the 7th inauguration ceremony since the beginning of the 4th Republic in 1999. And President-elect Bola Tinubu and Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima will take the oath of office. Join me, Nifemi Oguntoye, every weekday on TVC News for the countdown to the historic May 29 Inauguration Day, as we bring you all updates, political intrigues, and in-depth analysis of people and events that you need to know. The countdown to May 29 Inauguration Day, live at 6 p.m. every weekday, only on TVC News.
Genuine business people desirous of success in today's environment ignore the taxman only at their own peril.
Under the oversight of this board, the FIRS will continue its transformation into a premier revenue collecting agency.
For up-to-date and accurate information on your obligations, duties and rights under the various tax laws in Nigeria, watch Tax Matters on TVC News Thursday 6:30 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Lagos is the most visited state in Africa as the 5th largest economy on the continent. Covering the state and its government is no mean feat, it's a busy beat. We go beyond the curtain of tapes to traveling far into the deep.
I want to thank the Lagos state government for the healthcare facility.
To bring stories that cut across all spectrums.
A greater Lagos shall be ours.
We tell you stories that define our collective well-being as Lagosians. I'm Adedoja Salamadini. I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
Never miss a moment. Instant breaking news from all over the globe. Live streaming of your favorite programs delivered directly to you. Watch anytime from anywhere on your mobile or smart devices. Download the TVC News app today. Available on Google Play and Apple Store.
Well, we're back counting down to May 29. It's exactly 18 more days to the inauguration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thanks for joining us on the program. Remember, you can join the conversation online if you use the hashtag Inauguration Day. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. We're keeping an eye on the Election Petition Tribunal sitting in the nation's capital, Abuja, where the All Progressives Congress has now filed an application asking the tribunal to dismiss the petition filed by the People's Democratic Party. Counsel to the APC, Charles Dosonwa, told the tribunal the party has filed and served 2 applications on the petitioners, that's PDP and Atiku. The application is seeking to dismiss the petition filed by the PDP and also strike out PDP's reply to the APC's preliminary objection. At today's proceedings, counsel to the PDP, Chris Uche, confirmed that parties have met and indeed harmonized the vital areas of the pre-hearing session. Celestina Area has details in this report.
At today's proceedings, counsel to the PDP, Chris Uche, senior advocate of Nigeria, confirmed that parties have met and harmonized the vital areas of the pre-hearing session. He noted that parties have agreed to set up a team to go through the various documents to eliminate objections while tendering documents from the bar. The PDP has set parties with the issues for trial, which is subject to the modification by the tribunal. The PDP noted that it has one pending motion which the respondents are yet to reply to. Parties have agreed to file responses to all motions and resume the pre-hearing session by 18th May. Counsel to INEC confirmed the submission by the counsel to the petitioner, but noted it had filed an application seeking to strike out certain paragraphs in the PDP's petition. This resolution was also confirmed by counsel to the President-elect and the APC. The tribunal subsequently adjourned to 18th May for further pre-hearing.
Then thirdly, which comes to this issue of the motions, you could see that we served the other parties the motion for the televising of the proceedings. They explained here that they are still in the process of filing their replies. Therefore, we could not proceed without their input. So we don't want to anticipate their response. That's why the matter and this motion and other motions have all been adjourned to Thursday next week.
The tribunal also adjourned to 18th May for further pre-hearing on the petition filed by the Allied People's Movement after counsel to the APM confirmed that he has filed his issues for determination before the tribunal and also in receipt of issues formulated by the respondents. He noted that parties have agreed to set up a meeting to go through documents and confirmed that there would be objected to and that there would not be objected to. However, counsel to the APC says he wasn't party to any meeting held by the petitioner, but he would work with the date for adjournment given by the petitioner, being 18th May. He noted that the APC has filed a preliminary objection to the petition filed by the APM, but will raise that objection during the trial. Chairman of the panel, Justice Haruna Samani, urged parties to stick to the content of the agreement to ensure seamless flow of proceedings at the next adjourned dates. Celestina Iria, TVC News, Abuja.
Let's return now to our coverage of happenings within the APC ahead the inauguration of the 10th National Assembly. The Special Assistant to Speaker of the House of Representatives, Kehinde Oladega, is here with me in the studio to take a look at APC's zoning arrangement. But that will be after this break. Stay with us.